funny feeling. Something's going wrong. Stacks of papers on my desk, more than I can ever get done. Sometimes I can't sleep, I just lie in bed all night. Why does everyone's opinion count for more than it's worth? Taking people's advice I don't even know, without hearing the one who loves you most. You matter, oh, you matter the most. I got a funny way of showing it, even though I know you matter. Ooh, you matter the most. I can never do justice to the way you've changed my life. You matter the most, you matter the most, you matter the most. I was like a singer who didn't have a song, a stumbling person about to fall, growing old before my time. Then you showed me it's okay to cry, just to laugh, just to play, just to be happy for no reason at all. Now I see the joy I miss, chasing things that never did exist. You matter, oh, you matter the most. I got a funny way of showing it, even though I know you matter. You matter the most. I can never do justice to the way you've changed my life. I come full circle time and time again, but I'm closer now than I've ever been. If life's a dance and I want you near, 'cause you're the one that brought me here. All wrapped up in you. You hold it all together. You're the tape and you're the glue. I can think of nothing better to do than to sit here in the still with you. Oh. Nice, man, nice. Welcome, everybody, to the Music Room Podcast, a home for artists, storytellers, and weirdos. If that's you, you're in the right place. My name is Matt Blagg, and I have another Matt here with me today, Mr. Matt Stansberry. Matt,
hey,
welcome to the Music Room.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Matt is a singer, songwriter, artist, entrepreneur, a husband, a father, and many other things. So I'm very excited to have this guy here with us today. You're going to be glad you got to know him too. So let's do this. Would you start out with a song and play a song for us? And then we're going to talk about lots of other cool things.
Totally. Let's do it. This is called Girl Crazy. Girl, I never met no one like you, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, yeah. I just know I just gotta have you. Girl, well, you got me sweating what to say, but I just got to know your name now. Well, I'm feeling sick as I walk away, yeah. With every step I take, You got me losing my mind, yeah. You got me walking that line, yeah. I feel crazy every time I go girl crazy. I go crazy. And girl, well, I walk right up to you. Well, looking, swagging, talking smooth. But just know I'm truly coming loose, yeah. And girl, what would you say if I asked you out? Would you straight up punch me in the mouth? Guess I'm about to find out. Well, just say a prayer for me. You got me losing my mind, yeah. Well, you got me walking that line. I feel crazy every time, yeah. Every time I go girl crazy. Yes, I go crazy. Oh, and girl crazy. Yes, oh, I go crazy. Well, let's go crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah. Let's go crazy, 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 crazy. Let's go crazy, 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 yeah. Yeah. Let's go crazy, 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 crazy. My mouth gets dry as I try to speak. I'll keep this short, don't mean to preach. It's just you got me so speechless. I don't know what to say. You got me losing my mind, yeah, losing my mind. Well, you got me walking that line. I feel crazy every time, yes. Every time I go girl crazy. I go crazy. Yes, oh girl crazy. Oh, I go crazy. Oh, let's go crazy, 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 crazy. Let's go crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah. Let's go crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah. Let's go crazy, 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 crazy.
Yeah, very nice, man.
I like those harmonies.
Oh, I was trying to be Myra, but I wasn't quite getting
Right.
it. She just said, yeah, that's not going to happen. Hi, Myra. We love you.
Hopefully you watch this one.
Hopefully you're watching. We want to have you on here sometime, too. I love your music, man. I always have. And I got to know, I saw you, like, there was that thing where they had singer-songwriters on at that weird place down by the river, the Native American place.
Yeah.
Where they filmed, was
yeah.
it like Chickasaw TV or something
Yeah.
like that? You know what I'm talking
Years
about?
ago.
Years ago.
Yeah.
That's where I first saw you because I did one and you did one. I was like, this is cool. And then,
I forgot about that.
and
Yeah.
I think our friend Jeff Hall, you needed a trumpet player.
Yep.
So our friend Jeff Hall, I got the call and I'm really glad I did. I love playing with the band The Romance. So this guy has his own like marketing, branding, business, and he's a big deal. Let me just say it that way. And does some really cool stuff. And then his band called The Romance for the last, how long did you say, 7 years?
Like 8 years.
8 years. This band is kind of the song that you just heard. There's kind of that neo soul kind of stuff that I just love. It's my wheelhouse. It's my favorite. And then tell us what all are you into these days? You're doing a lot of stuff.
I am. Life's busy right now, but it's good. I'm very excited. I have 3 little girls, so
they're beautiful.
Yeah, so family is they're all doing really well right now. So that's exciting to watch them grow up and find the things they're into. So I'm kind of living vicariously through them on a few things, which is great. So my oldest is 12 and my youngest is 7. Then I have a 10-year-old. So nice. That's going great. Then you mentioned the branding company. It's called Nominee. Working a lot of exciting projects right now. Working some stuff with the city of Oklahoma City on some brand campaign work and doing all kinds of stuff. Some of it's local restaurants and coffee shops and all sorts of stuff. So we got our hands in a lot of different things there, which is really exciting to see. And I think it's just a good time to be in Oklahoma for all that. And then on the music front, I'm constantly writing. And like you said, had Matt Stansberry in The Romance for 8 years now.
Wow.
So which is crazy to look up and think that
I know
I've been able to do anything that long.
Crazy good band. You all should look up Matt Stansberry and The Romance. Crazy good band. One of my favorite bands to play in.
Yeah. Well, and you sound great in it. It's so much fun to have had you sit in over the years. It's been amazing.
I wish I could all the time, but
yeah. Right.
So, but before The Romance, you were doing kind of singer-songwriter stuff with your guitar, right?
Yeah. So in 2004 to about 2008, I was doing Matt Stansberry Band. It was like a 4-person band, and it went through. I mean, it feels like that was 8 years, and it feels like Romance is 4 years, but it was the opposite of that. Yeah. So we just did a lot. It's kind of like, you look at these bands, and I'm not comparing us to this at all, but you look at bands like the Beatles that were around for 6 years, and it seems like they were around for 20 years with the amount of work they did and stuff, and it's just amazing to think of what they did. So I'm not comparing to that at all, but it's kind of feels like that where you just did a lot in 4 years. And then after that, I actually did more solo stuff, and did that for really 2 or 3 years, just kind of writing and kind of went back to some of the basics. I feel like during that time I became a stronger writer, which prepared me for The Romance a few years later, which ended up being the opposite of singer-songwriter and big band.
Yeah.
We kind of came out as a 10-piece. Our most recent iteration is a 7-piece version of that. But yeah, I mean, and it would swell up sometimes to 12, 13 people on stage. So that was a pretty big departure to go from like playing like the Greens Country Club acoustic or something to, doing the 10-person band. It made it to where it's like those venues they're going to have to play some different venues. Like those venues aren't going to be the same. So we had to switch the whole strategy and everything. You did, but you played some really cool places. Like you played South by Southwest. You played Kansas City. What's the place there? Knucklehead. Yeah.
Just some really cool places. St. Louis and
I
don't know where all you guys travel all over.
Memphis and Chicago and San Antonio and lots of interesting. Had tons of great, fun and cool experiences. We did like a thing at Sun Studio, but it was because of we played at Hard Rock Cafe and ended up touring around the studio, and they invited us to come record. So it's kind of funny some of the things that happened just from kind of going out and touring a little bit. What was that like in Sun Studio? I've driven by it on the street, but never. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's like it's exciting, but it's also kind of like I don't know if I should be in here. You have a little bit of that because it's like you don't want to break anything, and because everything's old and I know for the most part pretty original. And I'd have been like, I would just want to touch that microphone and see if I can soak up some mojo or something. Oh, that's the feeling the whole time. And so it's kind of respectful, like okay, kind of went in there. Yeah. Being cautious and careful with what we're doing, but it was really cool. But stuff like that, and getting to know people in St. Louis, and we still have good friends there, and we haven't played there in a while. I think we only played there once last year. So, but yeah, just those relationships and those things. That's what it's all about. Yeah, for sure. Really cool. So, what do you like these days? I mean, you're still doing The Romance some, slow down on that, but you're doing some more writing, just back to doing some more singer-songwriter stuff. Is that right? Well, not necessarily singer-songwriter. I'm exploring a lot of things creatively right now. I'm just allowing myself to go down different paths that I hadn't before. Sure. But but yeah, the romance, it's its thing. It's an entity, and so that deal. But kind of that's slowed down more recently, and so I think, I was telling you earlier, I feel like I've been kind of had a writer's block for the last couple of years, and I feel like I'm just kind of coming out of that.
Yeah.
Even though I've had tons of songs I've written, I was telling you, I just didn't feel like, where is this supposed to go? It's just, what am I supposed to do with this? And I think I finally feel, as of even more recently, that I'm kind of feeling unlocked, and the creativity's flowing, and it's in
Nice.
a singular direction, which is kind of fun.
So the Romance did 2 albums, 3 albums? How many did
So
you guys do?
so it's interesting, yeah. So we did, our first project was an EP.
Right.
Then a couple years later, we released a full length.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did like a couple singles kind of in there. And then we did the Sun Studio as an EP.
Okay.
And then we did Future Love in 2017. So we have 2 full lengths, 2 EPs, and some singles, and then some live stuff.
Wow.
So it ended up being quite a bit out there. But yeah, in 2017 was the last release. And then I did a solo album featuring some stripped down versions of some romance songs last year. So I came out last year. Yeah. And that was an EP. So there's been some stuff in there. So within a year or two, there's been something released.
And apart from the Romance, you've done, obviously the one that you did last year, you said, and then before the Romance, you did some albums or EPs too. Is that right?
I did. I don't know if any of that is available anymore. I don't know if any of it's out there, but you could probably find something, but most of that's not, on iTunes.
So go on the hunt. You all find old Matt Stansberry.
Right. Yeah, YouTube's probably the best bet to find something obscure, and where I'd go like, oh man, that's like a way back,
Someone
different era.
called me the other day, Facebooked me in Arkansas and said, hey, I just found one of your CDs at an estate sale. I was like, yes.
Well, hey, the comment I got the other day was, and I don't feel like I'm very old, but this comment made me feel old. Somebody on YouTube commented on not our first album, our second album, and said, I used to listen to this when I was a kid. And I was like, okay, that's 2014, so flash forward like 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
And somebody that was like 10 years old could be 16 and driving now, and they thought when I was a kid I listened to that, and it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah. Because in that span, someone could have been in high school and now they're graduated college.
Totally. I mean, it just
They
started
could have been
looking
a
at
sophomore,
like
junior in high school, and now they're graduated.
It shocked me, though. I was like,
I know, man.
I thought it was kind of like, what do you mean they listened as a kid? And then I thought about the time frame and did some math, and I was like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
It is, for sure. You got another song for us?
Sure,
I'd
yeah,
love
yeah.
to hear. I could listen to you.
Play around with this one?
I'd be honored to, man.
Great. Okay, this one's called Real Love, and this is a song that we recorded at Sun. So, here we go. Set on fire like a burning flame. Got too close, but then I heard my name. Have you been through love? Yes, you know I have. Have you been through real love? Been to the river and I waded in. Got so deep that I could barely swim. But have you been through love? Yeah. Have you been through real love? Have you been through love? Yeah. Have you been through real love? Yeah. Have you been through love? 2 times. Have you been through real love? Oh, 3 times now. Well, have you been through real love? Oh, 4 times, y'all. Have you been through real love, real love? Fell down the mountain, I could sense defeat. Crawled through the valley on my hands and knees. Have you been through love? Yes, you know I have. Oh, have you been through real love? Back was breaking under a heavy load. Felt the pressure and I was all alone. Oh, have you been through love? Yes, you know I have. Have you been through real love? Oh, have you been through love? Yeah, have you been through real love? Oh, 1 time. Have you been through love? Oh, 2 times. Have you been through real love? Oh, 3 times now. Have you been through real love? Oh, 4 times, y'all. Have you been through real love, real love? Well, my love is a killer machine. It's so killer. Well, come here, let me show ya. Oh, some real love, yeah. My love is a killing machine. It's so killer. Well, come here, let me show ya. Oh, some real love. Well, come here, let me show ya. Oh, some real love, yeah. Well, come here, let me show ya. Oh, we'll show you some love. We'll show you some real love. We'll show you some real, real love. We'll show you some real love, real love. Take it away. Show you some real, real love. We'll show you some real love, real love. Yeah, we'll show you some love.
Yeah, man. Very nice. Yeah, I love your music. It's right in my wheelhouse.
You sound like, I mean, just right, you just dive right in. All unrehearsed. You just
happens.
So. Yeah, just doing it. I love it.
I love it too. So I know you've traveled a good bit. Mm-hmm. And when we travel, things just happen sometimes. Playing the gig is the easy part. Getting there is, what's Dan Fogelberg said, the audience was heavenly, but the traveling was hell, and his old
right.
sign.
Makes it worth it though, right?
So it does make it worth it, yeah. But just getting somewhere sometimes, you've seen a lot of I-40 and I-35, and I have too. And I've ridden in the van with you, so you have to learn how to get places. And sometimes things go awry, or sometimes weird things happen, or just, I don't know. Do you have any funny road stories you could share?
Oh, there's like a lot of crazy stuff's happened. Some of the stuff actually I think about like stuff that has happened during the show.
Well, tell us that. Tell us what's a bizarre stage moment.
Well, maybe not bizarre, but like I've had things like where you're playing outside and it's like the forecast is beautiful and all of a sudden rain's coming down and things are blowing and you're just all of a sudden pulling gear off the stage, and you get home and like some of your pedals don't work because they've been soaked with rain and some weird stuff like that. I think about that as traveling, or you go to the next gig and you're like, I'm going to have to rearrange my pedal board because can get to work, just like goofy stuff, and you're putting duct tape on things, and it kind of gets, you kind of like have everything nice with this great plan. It's kind of like Mike Tyson's thing, like everybody has a plan, they get punched in the face. That's right. It's like you get punched in the face, you start pulling out the duct tape you weren't planning on using, or the gaff tape or whatever, and things like that. Or like times where I'm in the middle of playing and you get feedback, so I'm like played a chord, reach down, you pull the plug out of the monitor, so just like I'm not even gonna use a monitor tonight. So I think a lot of the stuff that I feel like has happened that's kind of funny or crazy, actually a lot of it's happened on stage. And I think the reason why is because with the last 8 years of playing with the Romance, it's just such a good group of people. And there's like we may have had a flat tire here or there, but like nobody's like fighting or not getting along, or I mean, there's tons of like not private, but like personal little inside jokes or whatever that we have. But it's been really kind of like nice, like kind of refreshing. That's, so I don't have a ton of crazy stories really on the road that come to mind.
I love that because you're obviously a professional, like how you do things, and I try to be that too. And whenever I can get home and my wife says, "How was your trip?" and I can say it was uneventful, that's always a good thing.
Right.
One time we were singing at a thing in Sayre, Oklahoma, almost to Texas, far west Oklahoma, and it was an outside thing in a park. And like literally in the course of a song, it seemed like the weather switched. And we were just throwing stuff in the trailer as quick as we could, just to try to get it. And we saw storm chasers coming by because it was tornado season, and so they ended up having a big tornado out there, and we had to stop mid-show. And another time in Fayetteville, Arkansas, it was a college thing, so on college campus, and then we had a tent. Same thing, the weather just in the course, all of a sudden we were set up, sound check, ready to go, looked like a beautiful night, and just like that, the weather, and we were throwing stuff in, and we had to move inside, and it was just mass chaos, and I still don't know how everything worked. Everything somehow got set up because you have just random people want to help, and they're carrying your gear, which is never really a good thing, and you never know what's going to happen. But sometimes those end up being the best nights. It seems like
memorable.
Yeah.
Out of the ordinary. You're not. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think about that like that. Like I really did. I had a really nice fuzz pedal that didn't work afterwards. I was like, that's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Like the fuzz pedal cost more than I got paid for the gig. But yeah, I think but I remember it, and I remember everybody kind of like trying to figure it out, and I like that part of the surprise. But that's kind of how I play music too. I like just going and running a show down, just like the songs. That's fine. It doesn't do anything for me. Like I like the improv. I like to go when you're playing and stuff. So I kind of like that in life. Just the unexpected is fun for me.
I like having a plan. I mean, I don't like to get up unprepared. That's what makes me nervous. It's when I feel like I'm unprepared.
Oh, yeah.
But then if I have a plan, then I feel comfortable to deviate from it.
Yeah.
When it's just like there's no track, if the train jumps off the tracks, that's okay. At least there's tracks to put it back on. I like to have tracks. So, but I do those spontaneous times. And I know there's some of those in the romance. And I think you and I have talked too about, and we both have worked with Tom Jackson, right? Did you work with Tom Jackson?
Yeah.
I remember having that conversation.
That,
Creating moments in a show. It's not just a set list of songs.
Yeah.
You want to take people on a journey.
Yeah. I liked his deal. His kind of thing is like, instead of thinking about it, okay, we got 12 minutes for this showcase. We're going to do, can we fit 4 songs in? He's like, what if you do 1 or 2? But you like find the moments. It's really interesting. Like it fits really well with the way I think about music, but it was nice somebody giving you the green light to do that.
Yeah.
Just saying, why don't you do this? You're like, I can do that. I don't have to fit in 4 songs. So, yeah.
I saw Taylor Swift several years ago on TV, and her show, it was like a live show. And I kept thinking, this is like, that's what Tom Jackson would tell me to do. She was doing that, like they would have percussion drums and go out in the audience and do this. And it's like they were creating moments. And come to find out, Tom Jackson has worked with Taylor Swift. I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to Tom Jackson. He teaches people what to do on stage, basically, instead of just stand there singing and
performance skills and things. Yeah,
exactly.
Really
And
cool.
that's helped me a lot over the years. And it was weird when I came off the road and being a kind of a solo artist and singing, and you're carrying the whole show, to playing some cover tunes at restaurants and bars and weddings, and your background music. I had to shift my mind. They don't want me out there sticking a microphone in someone's face, having them sing with me or doing something like that. And I had to you just stand there and sing, and people are going to talk while you're singing.
Yeah.
It was a different. It's all about knowing your place, though. I'm not there to be the focal point or the center of attention. I'm there to provide background music, and now I've kind of found myself getting used to that and getting comfortable in that. Now when I have to step out, it's like, I have to think about this again.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. I feel like I learned how to play music background, like playing at Mickey Mantle's, and back in the day there's a place called Martini Lounge. These different places where, but especially Mickey Mantle's, I can't tell you how many gigs I played there and played with a band, but we were background music. But I used it as an opportunity also to like really learn how to solo or kick solos over to other people and improvise, and like did a lot of growing up as a musician, just background. I think I like later in life started adding in the show piece to it, which is interesting. But it is a different gear.
Oh yeah.
I've done a lot of the shows in the last few years to play background. I haven't done a lot of that in the last few years, but I'm already thinking like, that would be interesting. Like you're kind of like, oh, don't do that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Just sit here and play.
Different dynamic for sure. Let's talk about songwriting for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, we were talking earlier about how you go through stages, and sometimes it seems like you're just writing like crazy, and then sometimes you're not. But what do you have something you normally do? You try to write something every day, or you wait for an idea to come? Or if someone's thinking about writing a song, what would you say to them?
Oh man, I don't know, because I only know me. I only know how it works for me.
Yeah, how's it work?
You know,
for
I've
you?
had other people that are like interested in writing songs, like consciously, like I think I want to write songs. That's not really how it's been for me. So I don't know what advice I would give somebody like that, because I've just always written as long as I've played music. So the earliest stuff that I would learn on guitar, a lot of times I was making songs up. In the same time, I'm learning covers and different stuff. So I've always just been a writer, even if it's awful. I'm just coming up with ideas and things is just something I've always done. It's weird if I go a chunk of time where I'm not writing, but I don't really like do it in a real formal way. You have my iPhone when I do voice memos. That's been the best way for me to write, because I can write faster. And I think even just doing it into the phone and hearing it back has made me like get better at self-editing.
Yeah.
Like even just, I'm not doing it from a performance standpoint, but even just like, I know it's just a demo, but I wouldn't sing it like that, or just tweaking and things like that. So maybe that's it. Maybe I would say just keep your phone, or, your notepad on your phone, or a little notepad, and just be ready for the inspiration to strike. Because it's surprisingly, like and it may not be surprising, I actually don't write on guitar very much. I write 9 times out of 10 on the songs. I write them just out of my head. And so I'll just hear them coming in, and it's a melody and like a song idea or a lyric idea. And I usually end up finishing the lyrics later, but they kind of come at once, like concept and music and tune just kind of hit. And so I just kind of jot that down real quick and then come back and finish it if I feel like it's worth it. But that's just that's only my style. So, and I've heard so many different people have their own style. I think just thinking about what works for you. How do you capture inspiration? But I think it's got to be, I feel this way, and I may be wrong. I think sitting down and being real intentional to write a song could totally work and be great. I just haven't experienced a lot of that. Mine's been more of like letting inspiration kind of come when it comes. And I actually spent the last 6 months with very little inspiration coming. So, and I would try to force it, and it wouldn't happen. I was getting discouraged. So I just was like, I even kind of like prayed about it. Hey God, if you want me to be a songwriter, then send me send some songs my way. If I'm supposed to just not do that anymore, then cool, And I kind of was at peace with it. And then all of a sudden I'm getting this wave of songs. So I was like, okay, maybe you want me to be a songwriter,
For sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, one thing I wanted to ask you about is your parents, because they sang, or they did, and your dad is on the Grammy, the national.
Or he was at the Recording Academy, the Texas chapter. He was on the board,
of the Grammys, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And did they do a duo thing or sing, or what?
They did for years. They're not doing that currently. My dad still writes songs, and he's still writing songs now. So I grew up some around that. What's interesting, my dad's an awesome writer. And I feel like that sounds kind of biased, but I really think that. I think I would think that if I wasn't his son. And I grew up thinking that all the songs he played were other people's songs, because they never talked about it.
Wow.
They weren't like, your dad's a songwriter, he's writing these songs. It was just, he would come out in the living room with a guitar and just start playing. We'd all know the words. And I didn't know until other people heard the songs and were like, what's that? I was like, what do you mean, what's that? It's this song called Bound Away. Like, I heard it my whole life. I'm like, well, I haven't heard it my whole life. I feel like it took a while for me to realize that was my dad's song. So he's just really cool songs. And and so I was kind of around it, but it's interesting. We've never like co-written really, or like I've helped produce some songs that he's written, but he kind of done his thing, and I just kind of found my way. And my brother's a great songwriter. Joe's really creative. He's really out of the box, but he's just written so many awesome songs. But we all three write really pretty different. So it's really cool to be just. I don't know why that happened, because it was never really pushed on us. We were never really asked to like be a part of a family songwriter thing, but it ended up being at least all the guys in my immediate family, we all write all the time.
That's so cool. Does Joe still play with you in the band?
He isn't currently, but he's still writing songs, and again, his stuff's just really awesome.
He's just cool. I mean,
He's a cool dude. Yeah.
He's got.
I really look up to
cool.
him.
Just cool. So one thing that we were driving from a gig, and this has stuck with me since you said this, about just not worrying about minutia things. Like driving to a gig or whatever, are we going to get to eat? It always seems to work out somehow or something. I remember you said that. Like,
that's how I feel. I don't know if everybody else agrees with me, because I think some people are going like, "Where are we eating? Please give me a plan." And I'm kind of big picture.
Feed me.
Yeah, I'm kind of big picture, and I let the details kind of fill themselves in.
Yeah.
It's good, but it can be bad, I'm sure. But yeah, that's funny that I don't remember that conversation exactly, but I
remember. I don't know why it stuck with me. It was cool. It made an impact on me.
But as you're saying that, I'm like, that sounds like something I would say.
Yeah. You're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, about just not sweating the small details, whatever it is. I mean, even taking a show on the road, I get a little existential angst about traveling. Just to, I'm like, what if I miss my connecting flight and then I miss the gig, or if the line at the rental car place is a mile long, which has happened, but can I change that? No.
Right.
And it always seems to work out somehow, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
You're where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, maybe I may be too laid back sometimes, but I don't think that was, if you talk to my mom, she'd be like, yeah, you've always been pretty laid back in some ways, but I've also been really intense in other ways. And I think I did have a period in my life where I had a lot of anxiety about a lot of things. Just, I can't be late to anything. Walking into a room, I'd be nervous. Like, people wouldn't know it, but that's inside. I had all that. And I think probably when we were talking around that time, maybe forward to now, but I feel like I've really worked on that and tried to just be at peace wherever I'm at and not just put so much pressure on things I can't control.
Yeah.
Words
to live by, friends.
I don't know.
Do you have another song for us?
Sure.
Then we'll tell people where they can find you if they go to Cyberland.
Yeah. Let's do it. You've probably played on this one. This is off the first record, a song called Bad World.
Yeah.
And the last song was, I guess all my songs have some silver linings in them. This is one of the ones that has a feel-good song. It's a feel-good song in a way, musically, but it kind of dives into, I don't know, more, I don't know if I wouldn't say darker ideas, but it's just kind of more realistic, because I think sometimes people think I just write happy songs, and this is not as much of a happy song, but it's disguised as one.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like that little trick. So people feel like, oh, this kind of sounds retro and cool. And you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh, you're saying it's a bad world, So anyway, yeah, this is called Bad World. Let me tell you, good love is hard to find. I'm sure you know this. It's like the blind lead the blind. We're all in the same boat, sailing nowhere, but we stay afloat, yeah. It's a bad, bad world. Oh, let me tell you, good people are hard to find. I'm sure you know this every single time. You're cheated, yeah, abused, we're lied to and flat out used, yeah. It's a bad, bad world. It's the truth, yeah. Oh, people let you down. Then they'll break you and they slam you to the ground. But you know you do it too, and you do it so well, yeah. Looks like this bad, bad world's got you under its spell. Yeah, 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 oh. let me tell you, good friends are hard to find. They'll stab you in the back, and they'll leave you high and dry. Yeah, that's why we build bigger walls, only to see them crumble and fall. Yeah. Oh, it's a bad, bad world. Yeah. Bad, bad world. It's a bad, bad world, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a bad, bad world, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a bad, bad world, yeah. It's a bad, bad world. Yeah.
Very nice, man. I love that one. I love that one. I love you had what song? You had a song that was in a movie. Which one was, or maybe more than one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The one that's been used the most is "Brighten It Up." That song gets used a lot.
Yeah.
I say a lot. I mean more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
It's been some stuff. So yeah, it's probably that one.
What movie was?
Oh, there was a TV show.
A TV show, yeah.
That's probably what we're thinking about. On ABC that had "Love Wins" in it.
Love Wins, yeah. That's a great song. Love Wins. Love that one. That's one of my favorites. I like all your stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
So I so appreciate you being here today on the Music Room. Where can people find you?
MattStansberry.com is probably the best place to find me. And you can kind of link to
Stansberry.
Yeah, like fruit.
Yes. I've never had a Stansberry, but I'm sure they sell them at
It tastes like
Crest.
Stansberries.
Yeah. So MattStansberry.com.
Yes.
And all over social media and all that. So thank you for being here.
I love it.
Thank you all for joining us on the Music Room podcast. We hope you'll come back again real soon. We got some great guests coming up, and don't miss it, and tell all your friends. And please be so kind as to hit that little subscribe button on the YouTube thing, the little rectangular red box that says subscribe. We appreciate it.